selde verdiği mücadele sırasında çok ilginç görüntüler kayda geçti. Gelin o anlara bakalım şimdi.
Burayı da geçtik.
Kimi demirlere tutundu, kimi timsah yürüyüşü yaptı. Kimi ise ayakta durmakta bile zorlandı.
Gözlerinizi kapatın. Sevdiklerinizle kahvaltı yaptığınız kafede aniden sele kapıldığınızı hayal edin. Bu hayal değil, gerçek.
Bir anda vurdu, kafeyi yerle bir etti. Kahvaltı keyfe zehir oldu.
Pencerenizi kapatın.
Yaşayan ilçelerden, yani Eminönü'nden. Bu caddede sele esir düşen o noktalardan biri. Selin sürükleyerek getirdiği koca kaya parçası sokak üzerindeki bir dükkanın önünde durunca önce suyun yönünü değiştirdi, ardından da içerisini göle çevirdi. Kaya parçası yüzünden taşan su o kadar tazyikiydi ki tüm sel suyu mağazaya doldu.
earthquake has caused some major damage and deaths, piling up boats in one bay and forcing people to sleep outside. The quake hit in the Aegean Sea off the coast of Bodrum, Turkey, and just east of the Greek island of Kos. KCAL 9's Tom Waite has the latest from the newsroom. Tom.
Yeah, some tough images to see there, Andrea. Video posted on social media shows terrifying scenes playing out across this ritzy European resort area. Yeah, the quake shook the ground under local restaurants and resorts, toppling tables you see there and chairs and sending people running into the streets. There are no reports so far of widespread panic, but tourists are reporting many people are too scared to go back inside their hotels or other buildings in the region. And we are getting word of at least 2 deaths and major damage. New video shows destruction inside a building that appears to be a hospital or medical center. No word if anyone was hurt there. And it triggered a tsunami that rolled up the harbor at Bodrum into popular tourist beach there. Lined with holiday resorts and nightlife, the wave was only a few feet high, but that was enough to cause havoc.
Oh my God. We live right by the beach, cuz I've never seen anything like this in my life. It's
And there you see water flowing into one of the local hotels there. One tourist from northern England told the Associated Press she and her family ran from their room in the Atlantis Hotel, which is in Kos. She described violent shaking and said people started screaming. More tremors were felt as guests tried to collect their passports. And once again, people were forced back into the streets. You see all that water flowing out there. Tourists in this area come from across the world.
Kaçmayın ya, yere yatın. Sedyelerin altına yatın arkadaşlar. Sedye altına yatın. Sedye altına, masa altına yatın. Masa altına girin, paniklemeyin. Bak, damar yolunu çıkarıyorlar. Hastayı çık. Bak, geç. Ne olduk ya? Aman Allah'ım. Hayır sana şey diyecektim, oraya gir diye. Akıl etme. Şuna bakar mısınız ya? Hayır. Zaten bu acil biraz şeydi.
geçti. Korkmayın.
Görevimiz operasyon.
Neler nereye gider? Herkes de mesul.
Sadece operasyonlara katılıyor.
Allah.
Deprem oluyor. Deprem.
Tamam.
Gel buraya gel. Gel. Tamam bildi bu. Bilmiyorum tamam.
İki dolu hareketler var. Bravo. Hocam o tükenelere hayata bak. Bravo. Hassiktir. Tamam sakin. Sakin arkadaşlar. Tamam. Dışarıdayız. Gelin. Kim var orada? Kime gidiyorsunuz? Arkadaşlar gitmeyin. Düşecek. Sakin arkadaşlar. Kimse binaya girmesin. Yok dışarı çıkıyoruz. İdo hadi yukarı. Lan bir şey yok. Işıklar açın ya. Bir şey yok abi. Bir şey yok ya. İdo sen...
Yokmuş benim. Ya Bengisu. Ya zaten korkudan ölüyoruz ya. Delinin biri gidiyor.
Murat. Tamam.
Sakin olun, sakin! Evet, burası Bodrum gibi şu anda. Su seviyesi yükselmeye başladı. Gördüğünüz gibi şu anda tsunami oluyor. Tsunami değil aslında. Tsunami değil aslında. Gördüğünüz gibi su seviyesi bir anda yükseldi burada. Deniz seviyesi.
Şu an görüyorsunuz karada deniz tsunami oldu burada. Bir kızım dur. 20 metrenin üzerinde deniz. Karadan içeri girdi. Gördüğünüz bütün tekneler karaya çıkmış. Gördüğünüz tekneler. Gördüğünüz gibi tekneler karada. 20 metre.
We had to evacuate. The house is totally flooded now. We're not sure how bad it's going to get.
This
what 8 inches of rain in 24 hours looks like. That is what New Zealand's weather service reported, 8 inches of rain in 24 hours. So keep in mind, that's about 3 times more rain than they usually see in the entire month of July. So as we've been showing you, again, this is in New Zealand, in Christchurch, the river came up and out and burst its banks. They have dealt with significant flooding. These folks not trapped by the floodwaters, fortunately, but there certainly have been plenty that have dealt with that. Lots of water rescues. The rain also ended up causing landslides, where we essentially saw some of the hills just let go. There have been some homes that have had to be evacuated in advance of that threat. We'll continue.
On top of cars pushed by angry water. ABC 2 News' Nadia Singh has words to go along with these pictures.
Storms came through the Reisterstown Owings Mills area and really did a number on this auto park you see behind me. Environmental crews are on the scene to make sure oil and other chemicals don't go into the stream behind us. But the flooding the storm brought with it certainly left a mess to clean up.
Probably one of the most dangerous things I've seen. Like I said, there was cars trying to pass it by when it was completely flooded. 2 people got stuck. They had the fire rescue out here.
Reisterstown Road just outside Cherryville Plaza looked like a river Monday afternoon.
I mean, I've seen it before, but never this bad. I mean, like it completely flooded the water drains. The spouts were coming up.
Businesses inside Cherryville Plaza worried the water would do damage.
Multiple cars trying to go around it, trying to go through it, even with the barricade in the road.
Forcing police and other crews to step in to make the area passable again after the creek rose, flooded this section of the road and forced a rescue.
To report of 2 vehicles that were in water approximately about a foot deep when the first units arrived.
In some areas we saw water rise waist deep, hail hitting hard in other parts of Baltimore County, and all just a reminder of how unpredictable Mother Nature can be.
But that basically looks like the ocean.
Onlookers stunned as raging waters overtook several Baltimore County roads after heavy storms drenched the region.
This is the worst I've ever seen as far as the flooding here.
Sky Chopper 13 over severe flash flooding in Owings Mills. Several cars completely submerged and some businesses flooded out. Craig Bruce captured these gripping images of cars and even a school bus trying to navigate through the deluge at this Reisterstown shopping center.
This is the first time I've been in a flash flood.
He shared this video on Facebook Live as first responders came to bail out a driver stuck in their car.
A lot of rescue guys had to come in, they had to walk through and take him out, take him to safety.
In Owings Mills, Rita Burr ended up seeing and feeling the marble-sized hail that fell at her home.
Ow, it hit me!
Others in the area seeking out shelter in their cars.
Racing for the worst ahead of a possible nasty storm in a matter of hours. You can see the area near Blue Diamond and Jones is trashed after yesterday's severe weather ravaged the southwest part of the valley.
There was so much water it even uprooted trees, and as 13 Action News reporter Brian Callahan found out, those who call this area home are demanding changes.
This is where it appears all of that water was coming down through this natural wash into this storm drain with a half an inch of rain falling in 2 hours on Monday night. Those on the other side of this pipe say a river was running through it.
The mud you see on this street did not come from our street. It came out of that pipe.
The park in William Shays neighborhood was meant to handle extra rainwater.
They obviously built it for that purpose because you can see the curbing.
But the deluge that hit the Southwest Valley on Monday was more than it could handle, leaving the neighborhood underwater.
It was like a river coming right down.
That water left an unmistakable trail of damage.
When there's so much water that it lifts the trees out of the ground and knocks them down, that's when you start to have to, point towards who do I need to talk to?
In previous storms, Shay says the water has slowly flowed through, leaving a minor but gross mess behind.
It's usually about, 1,000 or 2,000 cigarette butts. We've even seen condoms float down the street in a rainstorm, which is pretty gross.
Karen, we have seen so many people stopping at this park, looking at the river, taking pictures with their cell phones. They say they've never seen the river this high. Rising waters and rising concerns tonight in Algonquin. Just when they thought relief was in sight, another round of storms rolled in late this afternoon.
We didn't need that. That really, I think, really hurt the area again.
The Fox River reaching a record-breaking 13.11 feet. The raging waters ripping this dock away. It's now tied to a tree.
This flood has been
the highest that's ever been seen in this area on the Fox River.
Diana Wood recently sold this building to the village, but she's still in the process of cleaning it out. It's located right next to a creek. After the downpour, the water is going up once again in the basement.
It was lower yesterday. The creek waters were not coming back over the way it is now. It was lower, and I could have walked ankle deep in water down there, but now it's pretty much up to my knees.
So for now, the sleepless nights in this community will continue.
The other day when we had all those crazy storms, we were up, I think we were up till 6:30 a.m. just for making sure all the walls were good, holding up.
It's a terrible thing, but as long as nobody's lives are injured, that's the important thing.
Moment, a family of 9 was swept away in a flash flood in Arizona. There was a warning, but in their remote spot, they did not hear it. ABC's Kenneth Moten in Arizona.
Tonight, in the air and on the ground, an urgent search for a missing father. Some 40 searchers, including volunteers and dogs northeast of Phoenix, all looking for Hector Garnica, his wife Maria, their 3 children, and 5 other members of their extended family did not survive. The youngest, just 2 years old.
I can't even begin to tell you how I feel for this family. I mean, these are the age of these kids were 2 years old, 5 years old, 3 years old. It's just heartbreaking.
Holy mackerel! A bystander capturing the rush of water as the family celebrated Maria's birthday.
These people almost got hit.
Then she spots someone in a tree.
Trying to rescue this guy and his 1-month-old baby. There's the son over there and the mom's in the water.
The water roaring. Rescuers soon on scene, saving 4 others. That 6-foot-high wall of water swept away just about everything in its path, carrying trees, mud, and a lot of rocks. And it was moving fast, more than 30 miles per hour. All of it caused by just 1.5 inches of rain. That mixture of ash and logs left behind by the Highline fire, burning more than 7,000
living a miracle tonight.
He was caught up in those same floodwaters that killed 9 people this weekend, but he survived. Only ABC 15's Nick Saletti sat down with him to see how he was able to make it.
If I make it out of this alive.
Not knowing whether he'd live or die.
Why do you think you were spared?
I don't know. It was a warm summer Saturday near Payson. Brandon West and his dog Lucky decided to go for a swim with a buddy.
Jumped in the waterfall, jumping off the log and stuff.
But with just seconds to react, that swim turned dangerous. Brandon saw this, a raging mix of water, ash, tree limbs, heading right towards them.
You make the wrong step, you get sucked under. You just pray you're making the right decision.
With his dog hoisted onto his shoulders, Brandon trudged his way through that black water, Lucky taking the brunt of it. Eventually, the current overpowered them, sweeping them downstream over 3 different waterfalls.
I was just so physically exhausted that I couldn't hold him anymore. He ripped from my arms.
Disoriented, banged up, and still in shock, Brandon somehow made his way to this rock. Moments later, realizing against all odds, Lucky was able to swim to safety.
I don't know how Lucky got out of it. We were in the bottom of that waterfall up there.
Even though holding on to Lucky might have cost your life, you were not willing to let him go.
I don't think so, man. That's my boy. Thanks, buddy.
Lucky living up to that name now more than ever. He's got a few cuts and bruises to match Brandon's, but nothing these 2 can't heal from. Brandon just wishes those 9 others had the same second chance they do.
I don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful for being alive, but I just wish they were too.
Yeah.